Good evening, everybody. This is Daily Recall for June 5th, 2026. I'm Tom Stoukas, coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario. Hopefully everybody's having a nice Friday night. Boring. I'm a bit bored. Not much for news. It's weird. It's like slow news lately the last few weeks. It's like nothing's happening. Everybody's just checking out. Alright, so let's just go to this. See what's up today. Okay, yeah, it's camping season started. So, of course, we're going to get Indians and a camping Indian story. I'm sure there'll be a few more of these. And this is in our neck of the woods, the Pinery. Provincial Park. And because Mark Carney's encouraging all the newcomers to the Canada Pass to get out and see Canada's beautiful nature. So it says, basically these Indians were camping at the Pinery, and they were breaking all the rules and just being annoying. And someone made a video about it. But it's like, yeah, I remember this is bullshit too, because when I remember going to the conservation areas, and if you did anything like against their rules, they're right on you. But these guys are tearing up the whole forest, and nobody says a word to them. Hold on.
Branches from... Morning, guys. Are you guys burning branches from the forest?
No.
Did you guys bring that with you? You guys know that it's illegal?
Okay, so you're
It's
not...
a $5,000 fine.
Really?
If they find that you're burning branches from the woods. What? Buy fucking wood. Everybody does. Huh? You guys...
What do you say?
You guys... Huh?
We bought it.
You guys gotta put that out, or I'm gonna go show this to the front office.
All Canadian newcomers, please follow rules of this beautiful country. Anyway, so apparently you're not allowed to tear up the forest and burn wood. That wood wouldn't burn very well either. But apparently they were up all night too, making noise and probably playing their Indian music. I thought there was more to that video. All right, next. Immigration has been artificially juicing Canadian GDP the whole time. All right. Yeah. There's a lot of this reporter, I guess, saying how the economy basically is a Ponzi scheme in Canada, just keeping adding immigrants to the mix to keep the GDP growing. All right. Mass immigration was used to fake Canada's GDP growth, hiding the real economic disaster. It destroyed our infrastructure, housing crisis, collapsing healthcare, overcrowded schools, rising crime, turned us into a third world shithole. The bill was always coming. Now we have both. We're a third world shithole in a recession.
IXL is helping 15 million students succeed.
Alright. Good job. I don't know if I have to sign up for the National Post here. Okay. Maybe it's less. Okay. When asked about Canada's official slide into recession, Prime Minister Mark Carney attributed it in part to his government's dial down of immigration. We see some weakness in part because of clear decisions by the government, he told reporters on Tuesday, before noting his government's lowered immigration targets. Oh, come on. Pop-up ads, I hate them. All right. The comments reveal something about the Canadian economy that analysts and critics have been warning for years, namely that Canada's post-COVID economic growth has been predominantly based on packing unprecedented numbers of new consumers into the country. And that's what I was saying. The corporations, they love the millions of immigrants because it's new customers. As such, when weighing the growth of the Canadian economy against the outsized growth of the Canadian population, the country has already been in a per capita recession for much of the last 4 years. So yeah, even if the GDP of the country's up, the per capita GDP is bad. Per capita recession. All right. Every migrant to Canada consumes shelter, food, and services in some capacity, all of which gets added to total GDP figures, without necessarily signaling growth in overall economic health. Shocking. Okay. In 2024, for instance, Canadian GDP grew by 1.6%, but population grew by 1.8%, fueled by record-breaking surges in everything from temporary foreign workers to asylum seekers to foreign students to permanent residents. Look. All right. The net result was a year in which per capita GDP went down, which is generally an indicator that overall living standards are on the decline. So yeah, the per capita is what I think matters. Our GDP per capita has been on the decline for 2 years. Conservative Shadow Minister told the House of Commons. In simple terms, Canadians are getting poorer. Okay. Yeah. You know who's not getting poorer is the people letting all these new consumers into Canada. They're getting richer. Okay. Population went from 39 million to 41.5 million, an increase of 6.4%. What? I blame the CIA for this technical problems. All right, what's going on here? I don't know what's going on. Okay, I think I'm all right. So basically, once you cut down immigration, the GDP falls. So, you know, you can't really build an economy on forever immigration. It was just a Ponzi scheme. It's a bad way to build your economy. Probably the better way to build the economy is lower taxes, not having all this climate change BS. Maybe train Canadian kids and promote Canadian families, but it's okay. I don't know what's going on. I get interference. I don't know what happened. What can you do? Fuck off. Having some problems, guys. I'm sorry. Alright. Next. Stories about the horrendous Henry Nowak murder, 0. Stories about white guys matching shirts, 100 plus. The media is the enemy in the most complete sense of the word. Yes. People freaking out over this Second Sons having some little protests on the weekend. During the week. It's hilarious. Like, meanwhile, we got rapists, killers, molesters in Canada, but we're worried about a few white dudes who want to form a club. I think it's hilarious. I don't know where is this fuzz coming from. All right. Here's another driving story. 29-year-old Baljit Singh was driving an 80,000-pound truck and crashed, killing 2 people and injuring 10. He was playing a game on his phone while he was driving such a heavy load. We lost 2 Canadians because of letting these people into our country. He didn't even have any remorse, to the point that he fled the country back to India and had to be extradited back to Canada to stand trial. Stop bringing people in from the third world. And I was saying this for a long time. It's like, how many more Canadians have to die or be maimed on the road because of these shit drivers that they let to Canada? You know, but the GDP. Okay. Okay, I think I fixed it. Let's read that. Let's listen to this.
Baljit Singh was playing a game on
And it's like,
on Ontario.
It's not just driving. Like I'm even afraid to walk on the street. I'm gonna run over.
Truck driver who crashed his tractor trailer into several vehicles on Highway 30 has pleaded guilty to dangerous driving causing death. Court documents show that 29-year-old Baljit Singh was playing a game on his cell phone when he crashed into several vehicles in Brossard on July of 2022. A mother and her son were killed and 10 other people were injured. Singh fled to India the day after and was extradited to Canada after he was arrested in California in 2025. He's to be sentenced here June 4th.
June. I wonder what he got. Let's see what he got. Because it's June 5th today. He should be. Okay. What was the sentence? Maybe he didn't get sentenced. They always delay those things. Okay. No public reports. So they probably delayed his sentencing. He'll probably get nothing. Okay. But yeah, how many more people gonna die, especially in the summer? I heard a lot of accidents. The OPP are saying accidents are up this year compared to last year. A lot of motorcycles, dead motorcyclists. All right, next, this is Sarnia story. Well, not Sarnia story, but it's kind of like connected to this Henry Nowak thing in Great Britain, where the cops are so DEI afraid of being racist that they don't do their job. They basically let this white kid bleed out after he got stabbed because the people who stabbed him were calling him a racist, so the cops believe him. Said, yeah, he's a racist. And I was like, this kind of reminds me of Sarnia cops and the cops in Canada. It's like their anti-white bias, I think, or their fear of not offending minorities. So we had this case in Sarnia where this kid was shot by an Asian guy. They caught him. I don't know what is he, Cambodian or something, whatever. And yeah, apparently the guy was all out and about in Sarnia, causing problems at different bars, waving the gun around, threatening people. And at one place, they broke the window of the front door of a place. They got kicked out. They said something about a gun, so people called the police and told them this guy's gun. And 2 hours later, he ends up shooting this kid, Dane Nesbitt, at the college pub. So 2 hours after the cops got called, he ended up killing somebody. And we're gonna find out when his court case happens is gonna be like a timeline of events that night. So it'll be, under examination if the cops, what they did or what they didn't do leading up from the time they got called initially to the time of the murder. But anyway, they could have went literally, they could have prevented the death. Maybe they couldn't have. Just like this Henry Nowak could have been saved if the cops did their job. But if they put an alert on Facebook, let's say, because Sarnia's not a big town, and if they put an alert on Facebook warning of some Asian dude waving a gun around Sarnia, I mean, it wouldn't take long for it to spread. And maybe, someone sees it at the pub and says, oh, Asian dude's waving a gun around, and then they see an Asian dude there causing problems. They would know, hey, he has a gun. We're not going to mess with him. We're just going to call the police. But there was no warning, and I hope the cops didn't do that because they didn't want to look racist against Asian people. And it's kind of like the Henry Nowak thing. Like, the cops are so trained to not look racist that it affects their job. And I'm pretty sure if it was a white dude with a gun in Sarnia saying all sorts of crazy shit, they would have had like a shelter in place or lockdown or something, or at least send out something. Like it's kind of messed up. You can't really. It's just like the court system. The courts are starting to base a lot of their sentencing decisions on race or immigration status, and same thing's starting to happen with policing. Or not starting, it's already happening, but they're basing it on their DEI race-based training instead of just doing their job and looking at the facts. So like I said, if they would have said Asian guy, not a lot of Asian guys at the bars waving gun around, and put on their Facebook post, pretty sure if it spreads pretty quick on Facebook. Like one Sarnia group would be able to spread it. One Facebook Sarnia group would spread it in no time. Maybe they save them, maybe they don't. But like I said, we have to wait till the court, and who knows when that's going to be, like 3-4 years. Hopefully it's a quick trial. But during the trial, the police will be scrutinized. Whether why they didn't alert people, or maybe nobody told them about the gun. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they were told about the gun before he was, like 2 hours before the kid was shot. So I feel bad for the kid's family. They're going to have to put up with this court business. All right. But yeah. Basically, if you're a white guy, don't get into trouble with the cops because they're not going to help you. They're not going to help you. All right. Next. This is pretty... a Toronto constable charged with offenses involving a female youth under 16 between September and December 2025. Charges include sexual assault, sexual interference, invitation to sexual touching, transmitting sexually explicit material to a person under 16, child luring, breach of trust, careless handling of a firearm. So it's a Toronto cop. The Toronto cops have been in the news lately for all the wrong reasons. But this guy is This guy was from Iraq. He came to Canada like in 2011 with his family as a refugee, and this is kind of a good example of why you're letting foreigners into from different, like really different cultures, not just different countries, but totally different planet cultures, into the police and army ranks. It's horrible. It's a horrible idea. Asking for trouble because you're giving them this authority over people. You're giving them guns. You're giving them authority to do control over people, and that authority can get abused. I'm not saying regular cops like won't do that, but Iraq was a messed up place. Even before the war with Saddam Hussein, growing up in Iraq would mess your head up. And especially, who knows? So probably the last thing you should do is let them become police officers, but that's the way they do it now. They want all the foreign recruits. Like, they go to the Kalistani events and set up recruiting booths, the RCMP. So Parsa Hazari, sexual assault and sexual other offenses involving girl under 16. Yeah, like, that's normal for them over there. All right, what's this? Tuesday police training exercising. Speaking of foreigners and police forces, here's that. I don't know where this is from. Yeah, it's like they're trying to really focus more on foreigners to become police than Canadian, like young Canadians born here. All right. And there's Second Sons again. Look, I'm not saying they're the solution to Canada's problems, but I don't understand how people lose their minds over this group. They haven't done anything illegal, but people are more worried about these guys, especially some conservatives, which is weird, like Wyatt Claypool and all these fake conservatives. They're more worried about this than what I see every day in Canada, and this ain't my worries, these guys, at all. So I'm not part of the group. I'm a little too old for it, but I have no problems with them because we got way bigger things to worry about. Like, so it's a good litmus test. If you see people freaking out over these guys instead of freaking out over the invasion of Canada, then you know their priorities aren't good. So this is getting a lot of hits. I got no problem with the Second Sons. They love Canada and aren't out there killing, raping, molesting, or scamming people like the criminals we've let in from third world countries. The ones mad at the Second Sons are the real traitors to Canada. And I do my Ezra Levant litmus test. If Ezra doesn't like it, then I like it. And Ezra doesn't like these guys, so it's a no-brainer. I like their videos too. It's like, the real issue is when white dudes get together. They hate it. Because if you talk to any Canadian who's seeing this total invasion from India and from Africa now, they feel despondent, because they can't talk about it or anything. So when they see white dudes getting together, Canadians getting together, who happen to be white, talking about it and actually fraternizing, they freak out. And that's what bugs me. It's like, if they start doing terrorist attacks, then you could say, hey, they're terrorists, but they're just a club that loves Canada.
Second Sons Canada hit the ground in locations across the nation for our spring day of public action. The labyrinth of worrying issues threatening Canadians are as numerous as they are dangerous. Unchecked mass immigration, a dramatic explosion in crime, drugs, fentanyl, a health system that kills for profit, runaway cost of living, unemployment, and a politically compromised justice system, to name only some. Canadians are being suffocated under incompetent to blatantly treasonous politicians who are profiting on replacing us in our own home. The screams are being ignored while the money talks. We are here to let Canadians know that you aren't crazy. None of this is okay. It's not your fault. And that you are not alone. Second Sons Canada is a men's nationalist fraternity formed in 2025, dedicated to our home, our people, and our future. Public actions like these circumvent Ottawa's expanding online censorship. We demonstrate our presence for like-minded men and their families, who are then collected, interviewed for suitability, and connected with our group from Vancouver Island to Newfoundland, where they're given the time, space, and understanding to evolve and strengthen their spirit.
Look at that.
Physical
Look at these guys.
skill
The
building,
horror.
and
The
in finding
horror.
camaraderie in our shared struggle. The smallest part of the nation is the individual. And a healthier, stronger man is an asset not only to himself, but his family, his friends, his community, and his country. For whatever the drunk on power, unaccountable political class in Ottawa has in store for us all, we will not be facing it alone. We are not helpless victims. And it is long past time that we remember who it is that we are. And it's not something Ottawa or any transnational bankers can legislate away with a pen. It's in our blood. We are the Canadians. We don't throw our elbows up and simply hope to survive. We stand tall at center ice, toss our gloves off, and offer a bloody smile for our missing teeth. In all thy sons' command. Canada first!
All right, so, I mean, he didn't say anything wrong. Everything he said is correct about what's going on with the country. So I don't know why people freak out. It's retarded, but and they call him, oh, he's a Fed. It was like, maybe it's just guys who actually have their eyes open and say, hey, man, if we don't do something now, we're in big trouble. Like, literally. It could be that, you know. Can't even go outside my house. I go to the end of my driveway, and there's a bus stop like 50 feet away, and there's this Indian chick screaming, walking by, into her phone, having a conversation in Indian. I was like, I could literally hear her perfectly from my driveway. It's like 40 feet or 50 feet away. You know, I'm like, shut up. I told her, shut up. I don't want to listen to you. Usually I would just say whatever, like to myself, but now I'm just going to like say, shut up. I did it today. It felt good, actually. All right. And now look at these headlines they're saying for that kid who was killed in the UK, Henry Nowak. How Britain's far right hijacked the murder of Henry Nowak. White grievance reemerges as central theme in UK politics. Yeah, well, it is a white grievance. The guy got killed because he was white. This is CBC, of course. CBC hates white people in Canada. The horrible organization can't be defunded soon enough. Yeah, I don't think you can save CBC. I think even if you went in and like gutted it, I think it's just too Bolshevik. It's got to be, I think you should just destroy it. It's rotten. Rotten to the core now. CBC. I've had run-ins with these guys. And I had a run-in with them in Alberta 15 years ago, I think. And I realized then, because I used to like CBC, but I realized they were total liars. All right. Next here. Fatal collision. This is OPP Highway Safety Division. Ooh. Fatal collisions are up this year compared to the same period last year and over the last 5-year average. 133 people have died already in this year in road collisions. Get home safely every time. I've noticed there have been a lot of accidents in the news. Even around Sarnia, there's people dying horribly. Like, it's a horrible thing. And just a lot more shitty drivers. Like, I'm actually, every time I drive now, it's like, is this going to be the day someone kills me? All right. I don't know why there's no volume here. I don't know why the volume's not working. Oh, wait. Maybe that's why. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it's his mic. He's basically saying the same thing. Basically, more accidents this year. All right. Next, Toronto man, not a Toronto man, who claims to be energy healer and homeopath life coach, charged with sexual assault. Of course, an Indian dude, of course. Can't get in an Uber. You can't do anything with them around. At least if you're a woman. Okay. Toronto man who claims to be a counselor, homeopath, life coach, and astrologer is accused of sexually assaulting his clients. Toronto police said the man advertised his services online. He also claimed to be an energy healer and a masseuse. The alleged sexual assaults occurred while he was providing the services between January 2018 and 2024. Identified as 57-year-old Jai Veer at Veru. Police said he also may be known as Jai Mangal Krishnad. Charged with sexual interference, sexual exploitation, and 4 counts of sexual assault. Police have released his image as they believe there may be more victims. So, shocking. So it's, yeah, Indian subcontinent. They like their sex pests, I guess. The world #1 producer of sex pests. And sex pests is if you're lucky. If they're just taking, like, pictures of your kids or just staring like they do at the women at the beach. But when some of them go more than sex pests into sexual assault. Sexual assault. Like this guy. Okay. All right. Now, this story was for a Good Life Fitness in Toronto. It's horrible. Good Life Fitness location in Toronto has had to put up a sign urging members not to use its sauna as a washroom. So basically people are using the sauna as a washroom. See, there's a sign. Attention members, sauna is not a washroom. Using it as one would result in immediate suspension of your membership. So yeah, there you go. I like saunas. I'm trying to find a place with a sauna. And now they're taking the saunas from away now. They're going to ruin it for everybody. Sauna. Who would take a shit in a sauna? Like, I guess they'll take a shit anywhere. If you take one in the sauna, you'll do it anywhere. All right. Could you imagine the smell? Oh. All right. This will be the last thing. This is crazy, too. Criminal tourism. Suspects entering Canada to commit high-profit crimes in Durham region, police say. So that's crazy. Basically showing up, ripping off as many people as they can, and then getting the hell out. All right. Police in Durham region say they've uncovered a network of what they're describing as criminal tourists who enter Canada legally to commit crime for financial gain. Investigators unveiled the results of Project Jet Setter on Friday, saying they've connected more than 200 incidents to the organized criminal network and confirmed more than $2.6 million in losses. So far, 46 individuals have been arrested and are facing a combined 1,442 charges. At least 164 arrest warrants have been issued for individuals currently wanted by police. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of police work to get all this stuff. Maybe instead just don't let them into the country. Through the investigation, Chief Peter Moreira said police uncovered what he called concerning patterns of structured, repeatable, and deliberate criminal offenses, including large-scale retail thefts, vehicle and financing fraud, staged collisions, distraction-style thefts, and exportation of vehicles and goods. Majority of the people they've identified as suspects are from Romania, while a smaller portion is from India. So they travel quite frequently from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. They come here, they commit the criminal offenses, and a lot of times they leave the country before we can identify who they are. Okay. I've heard this, like the Romanian gangs in Greece. When I lived in Greece, I remember they would be like pickpockets and all sorts of criminals coming in from Romania. Some from India now. Chapman said that among the repeated offenses being carried out by the group is something called dirty oil scam, which CTV News has previously reported on. Suspects will contact individuals who are selling their vehicles and then deliberately damage the vehicle during the test drive or showing to negotiate a lower price. So they placed some type of liquid in the tailpipe, which caused it to smoke. Believing the engine had blown, the couple agreed to sell the car for $1,000 instead of $7,000. I never heard that one before. So basically, they're just panicked and say, "Oh, I better sell the car now before it blows up." And it's probably a lot of older people that they're scamming. So, other scams include suspects rolling back the odometer to increase the car's resale value. Okay. Vehicle financing fraud. They use fraudulent identities to obtain vehicles, which then are transferred to organized crime groups and then often exported out of the country. They don't care. They're not going to... They'll do the fraud. They're leaving the country anyway. They don't care. Okay. CTV is reporting extensively on distraction-style thefts involving seniors, which Chapman said are up to 268% in the region year over year. That's horrible. Seniors gardening on their own property when they are victimized, in many cases. Another investigation linked Project Juts said that police discovered a group specifically targeting seniors in retail settings. They used distraction techniques to obtain bank cards and PIN numbers, and then rapidly withdraw funds and make fraudulent purchases. Okay. Like, these guys are smart, too. Like, they're not stupid when it comes to crime. They know what they're doing. Okay. Okay. People are exploiting and know our systems very well before they come and engage in this activity. These organized groups are putting a ton of research into how to work through all of these gaps that exist, and they're exploiting it, and they're being quite effective at it. And this is what's adding to complexity of investigating this. He then pointed the finger at the federal government, saying Canada doesn't have a robust enough system to track who's leaving the country, and said that the existing sentences for those crimes aren't enough of a deterrent. So yeah, of course. Because if you go to the States and you pull this stuff and they catch you, you do some hard time. While police have made significant progress in cracking down on criminal tourism, the results of the probe are just the tip of the iceberg. Remain committed to this work. So yeah, basically, now you got to watch out for criminal tourist gangs. Like, and if they came to Sarnia, they would have a field day, because people aren't ready for this kind of stuff in Sarnia. They probably wouldn't stay. They'd have to leave after a while because we're a small town. But anyway, that's it for tonight. So, kind of boring. Next broadcast will be tomorrow, June 6th. Is it June 6th? Yeah. And so until then, have yourselves a nice night.